I exposed my husband in front of 300 people on live TV, and when the truth hit him, he lost the $1 million he stole from me, along with everything else he valued. My name is Alyssa Carter, and until a year ago, I believed I had built the perfect life in Los Angeles, California. A stable marriage, a growing real estate business, and a husband, Daniel, who everyone admired. People used to tell me, "You're lucky. Men like him don't exist anymore." But luck, that's a fragile thing. And sometimes life waits until the moment you feel safe just to rip everything away. Daniel and I met 8 years ago. He was charming, ambitious, and wildly persuasive. When I started my real estate brokerage, he convinced me to make him my financial manager because no one will protect your money like I will. I believed him. And maybe that was my biggest mistake. By the start of this story, I was exhausted, emotionally and physically. I was carrying our marriage, our home, and our business. Daniel kept promising he'd get his act together soon, but his soon never came. Still I stayed. Still I trusted. Still I tried. I had no idea the man sleeping next to me was slowly bleeding me dry. The first crack appeared on a Tuesday morning. I was at a closing meeting with a wealthy client. When I requested a wire transfer from one of my business accounts, the banker frowned and asked, "Ma'am, are you aware this account is nearly empty?" My heart slammed against my ribs. Empty. There should be over $600,000. The banker shook his head. A series of transfers were made over the past 4 months. All authorized by your co-owner, Daniel Carter. My hands trembled so violently that I had to grip the table just to stay upright. When I confronted Daniel that night, he didn't react with guilt. He reacted with rage. He yelled that I was ungrateful, that I never supported his dreams, that the money was ours, so he had every right to use it. Use it for what? I soon learned the answer. He wasn't just spending the money. He was funding another woman. Her name was Melissa. She was younger. And Daniel took my money to impress her. Flights to Miami, a luxury apartment in Hollywood, expensive jewelry he refused to buy me for years. I found it all, receipts, emails, hotel bookings, because he wasn't even smart enough to hide it properly. When I confronted him again, this time with proof, Daniel smirked and said, "You'd never leave. You're too soft. Besides, no one will believe you." That sentence, that smug, dismissive tone, it crushed something inside me. That night, I broke down on my kitchen floor, crying, shaking, barely breathing. I almost gave up. I almost packed a suitcase and disappeared. But then something hardened inside me. If he thought I wouldn't fight, if he thought I wouldn't make him pay, he was about to learn who I really was. I wish I could say I stood up from that kitchen floor quickly, but I didn't. I stayed there for hours, my cheek pressed against the cold tile, my chest so tight I thought I was dying. The silence of the house felt cruel, almost mocking, as if the walls themselves knew the truth long before I did. I kept replaying every moment of our marriage, every sacrifice, every late night I worked while he slept peacefully, every time I skipped vacations, family events, even sleep, just to build a future I thought we were sharing. And the worst part wasn't the money. It wasn't even the affair. It was the realization that none of it mattered to him. I remembered a night months earlier when I came home exhausted from a 14-hour shift. I had brought him his favorite takeout and told him I missed spending time together. He barely looked up from his phone. Now I knew why. He was texting her, using my money to impress someone who didn't even know the real him. The betrayal didn't feel like a stab. It felt like slow, invisible poisoning. A kind of pain that doesn't scream. It sinks. But somewhere between the tears and the shaking breaths, something inside me shifted. I realized I wasn't crying because I was broken. I was crying because I was finally waking up. And when a woman wakes up after being lied to, used, and underestimated, she becomes unstoppable. Daniel believed he controlled everything. But he had no idea the kind of woman he married. I started quietly. I contacted a forensic accountant, a friend who owed me a favor. Over 3 weeks, we uncovered fraudulent transfers, fake consulting payments, hidden accounts, and a money trail leading directly to Melissa's apartment. He didn't just steal from me. He committed felony-level fraud. While gathering evidence, I played the role of the hurt but forgiving wife. I cooked his favorite meals. I apologized first in every argument. I pretended to believe his lies. All while recording conversations, collecting documents, and saving messages. The opportunity for public revenge came unexpectedly. A local Los Angeles morning TV show contacted my agency. They wanted to feature successful female entrepreneurs in LA. I was invited to speak live. And the best part. They asked if my husband, my financial partner, could join me for a segment about managing money in marriage. The universe handed me a stage, a camera, a live audience, and a chance to expose him in front of the world. So I said yes. Behind the scenes, my lawyer prepared everything. Fraud filings, divorce papers, asset freezing orders. All timed perfectly. And Daniel. He strutted around proudly, bragging to everyone that he was going to be on TV. He had no idea that the moment he held that microphone, his life would collapse. The day of the interview, I wore a white suit, a symbol of purity, honesty, and truth. Daniel wore the watch he bought with my stolen money. We sat on the stage, the cameras rolling, the studio packed with more than 300 people. The host smiled and asked the first question. Alyssa, what is the secret to financial trust in a marriage? I looked straight into the camera. And then I delivered the moment that would become the thumbnail shot of this entire story. Trust only works when your husband isn't stealing $600,000 from you to fund his girlfriend. The audience gasped. Daniel's jaw dropped. The host froze. Then I pulled out the binder. Receipts. Bank statements. Emails. Photos. Everything. Daniel stammered. Alyssa, stop. This is private. But the host leaned forward, stunned. Is this real? Yes, I said calmly. And the police documents are already filed. As of 10 minutes ago, every account he used is frozen, including the ones he opened under Melissa's name. Security had to escort Daniel off the stage because he became aggressive, yelling that I ruined his life. But the truth was, he ruined mine first. The clip went viral across LA media within hours. And for the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. The fallout was swift and brutal. For him. Daniel was charged with multiple counts of fraud and identity theft. Melissa vanished the moment she realized he had no more money. My divorce was finalized in record time. The judge awarded me full ownership of the business, restitution for every stolen dollar, and a protective order. Daniel is currently serving a multi-year sentence in a California correctional facility. I rebuilt. I hired new staff. I expanded to 3 new real estate offices. And I learned the most important lesson of my life. Never let someone else hold the pen that writes your story. They might try to erase you, but you always have the power to rewrite everything. And I did. Today, I am stronger, independent, unbreakable. Because sometimes revenge isn't about hurting them. It's about reclaiming yourself. Thank you for watching and walking this journey with us. If this story moved you, please like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Revenge Uncut and help our family grow as we work toward our first milestone of 1,000 subscribers. Your support truly means everything.